Welcome back. In this section, we will explore about the scope of a variable. In JavaScript, a variable scope refers to the section of code where the variable is visible and can be accessed. We will take a deep dive into variable scope with live example. In programming, when we see curly braces like this open and close, we call this a block. And any code written inside this block is part of a block statement. For example, this is a block statement. In JavaScript, variables declared with let or const follow something called a block scope. That simply means variable is only accessible inside the block where it is declared and in any nested blocks inside it. We will see separate example with nested block. First, we will understand our variable scope with this simple example. So here what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to print the value of variable x outside this block. We will run the program and see what happens. Node scope intro js. Okay, reference error, x is not defined. Why? Because variable x is not visible outside this block statement. Next we will see a more complex example with the nested blocks. Here is one more example with nested blocks. We have one outer block, and inside the outer block we have one nested inner block, and again inner block we have one more nested inner block. If you see here inside the scope z, we can see variables x, y, and z. Inside scope y, we can only see x and y. Inside scope x, we can only see x. Outside this block, none of the variables are visible. This is why we call let and const block scoped variable. They live only inside the nearest block. We will run this example. Node scope nested.js. Okay, I am able to print the values of variable x, y, and z. For example, let me uncomment this line. Okay, so here I am trying to print the value of variable y and z. If you see, variable y is visible only in this scope and z is visible only in this scope, but we are trying to access, which is not allowed. We will get an undefined error. Okay, y is not defined. I hope you got better understanding about scope of a variable in JavaScript, which was introduced in ES6. In this example, we have an if statement. When the condition is true, the code inside the block runs. Inside the block, we declare a variable, let message equal to hello, then we print it. But outside the block, if we try the same thing, JavaScript says message is not defined. Why? Because message only exists inside that block. Once the block is finished, the variable is gone. This is what we mean by block scope. Variables declared with let or const live only inside the block where they were created. Let us run the example. Node scope if.js. We got an error message is not defined. Thank you.